The stock market is broken. Bad news is good news. Moderate news is good news. Good news is good news. Did George Orwell write this? Seems like we're not far off anyway. It seems as though no matter what certain companies do that they can't lose. Stocks are currently the most overbought ever in history except for one instance in 1985. But who cares? Time to buy the dip. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we are going to look at what's happening with the Fang stocks. We'll see what's happening in the stock market. Let's begin with that right away. This is on Thursday's trading session, and you can see that the US stock markets are divided. The Nasdaq rose 1.37%, whereas the Dow Jones was actually down just a little bit into the negative. This is obviously because of what happened with certain Fang stocks pushing up the Nasdaq to levels it hasn't been at in quite some time. We're going to look at the Fang stocks in a moment, but I wanted to show you this first to lead us into it. Behind the incredible GE surge, analysts relieved. No new nasty surprises in report. Not that they performed very well, not that they created a new invention, not that their sales were incredible, their business is expanding, new acquisitions, new mergers with other companies, forming conglomerates, massive adoption of new technologies. No, it was simply that this wasn't so bad, and they made the stock rise not just a little bit, but 12.8%. It went up 12.8% because nothing was that bad. Is that how desperate we are at this point in the markets? 2019 has been one hell of a ride so far. It is going to be a very, very interesting year for the financial system, for the stock market, for bonds, and everything in between. The market cap of GE is $90 billion, and I spoke about this company previously. This is a huge company. It's not just about small appliances at home. They get into everything, top to bottom, and they are very well connected in many ways. So there's a lot to this company. You have to understand that. But I just wanted to show you the fact that this has been declining. I'll put the mouse over and you could see if we go for a 5-year, for example, or even 1 year, you can see what happened. It was just declining month after month after month. And then October came, and with everything else, it fell further and further. But it has been surging recently. And why? Well, no reason exactly, but it is. So what kind of world do we live in today where nothing at all makes sense? Why General Electric stock is skyrocketing today? You can see in here it gets into some of the details. In this second paragraph, it says, investors overlooked the lighter profit and focused on the positives. How wonderful is that? Well, we'll just ignore some of the bad news and we'll only look at the good news. That's right. That's the new way to look at the stock market. Fantastic. Well, you have this as well. GE expects to sell off almost half of its health unit, upping original plans. What's interesting about this is that I believe this will probably result in layoffs, as it always does, but business loves layoffs. It's a fantastic way to improve your bottom line, and that's what they do over and over again. Now, we're going to start to change over into the Fang stocks, how Facebook, GE, and Apple turn their struggles into stock gains, according to Jim Bear Stearns Kramer. Check this out. Low expectations helped Facebook, General Electric, and Apple stocks come out on top after earnings. That's right. Don't worry about their actual company and what they're doing. You need to just ignore the bad news. That's the new name of the game. Ignore the bad news, buy the dip. Ignore the bad news and just buy the dip. Well, they go on to some more details in this article, but I'm tired of the garbage. People say they care about Facebook's privacy scandals, but their actions show they don't. Here's what that means for other tech giants, and it goes through, talks about all of them. But basically what I wanted to get into here was the fact that I just did a video previous to this where we looked at Facebook, all the different scandals on so many different levels, and then the stock skyrockets. Yes, it has done poorly from its peak, but that's not what I'm getting at here. I'm talking about the fact that we have a company that is getting in so much trouble left, right, and center, and yet we can see that people are buying the dip, and they're doing so in order to profit from it. They don't care about the morality. They just worry about their 7 shares of Facebook. That's what they want. And so as a result, they're going to have to pay the price eventually, because right now today stocks are the most overbought that they have been in history, except for one time. That's it. So we're looking at a time in which stocks absolutely cannot outperform further than where they are today. The market is pricing in extreme level of support, accommodation, not just from the Federal Reserve, of course, but that is the primary, but also from the government and the other central banks around the world. Everybody needs to print money now. You have to print. Things have changed, and this is what we have come to. An economy, the best economy ever. That's what we're told. Best economy ever, and yet this right now, it's actually showing us right now that it is in fact terrible. Facebook, looking at their stock, surging 11%. 11% on Thursday's trading session. Can you believe this? Look at it over the last month along with all of these other stocks. We can see that it has risen, but in just one trading session going up nearly 11%. It's incredible to see where it has come on top of all of these scandals. And then you have this type of garbage that's out there from Seeking Alpha in this case. Not to badmouth this website, I don't really care about it, but it's just showing you the way that the media, whether it be the alternative media, whether it's the mainstream media, they're always there to push an agenda. They're not there to inform you. They are there to push their agenda. Maybe they want you to buy particular things, particular stocks. They get paid for these articles. It has been known time and time again. Those websites are getting paid, and they do not have to disclose it in many ways. They do so beating around the bush. They make it very clear that they don't care. They don't give a damn about you. Well, according to Seeking Alpha, it's not too late to buy Facebook stock after earnings. I mean, it's fantastic. It's a wonderful stock. It's a Fang stock, and that's how you spell success. F-A-N-G. I don't know if you knew that, but this is a fact. Success, money, and rich, billionaire, all of that is spelled with 4 letters, F-A-N-G, and that's all you need to know. Facebook versus Apple, tech's biggest Cold War heats up and gets personal. Apparently, there's some animosity between Apple and Facebook. The two leaders here are not in good terms, apparently, and this happens to be an issue that I think is quite insignificant, because these are simply big corporations finding themselves as part of the government. Now, maybe they started with it. Maybe they received the funding from In-Q-Tel. Maybe they are in fact there to promote their own businesses, their own services, to ensure that they data mine you, they sell it off, making the profits and so on. Or maybe they're there to actually be engaging in these, let's just say, things behind the scenes. It doesn't even matter. We know the fact, and the fact is simply that they are not there to help you. But people keep pouring their money in, they keep supporting these businesses, and they don't give a damn. Amazon stock dropped sharply during earnings call after company warns of increased investments. There's more detail in here if you'd like to see it, but I want to show you the stock. It went positive through the day on Thursday's trading session, 2.89%. However, after the bell, it was down nearly 5%. Of course, that'll probably just change in one trading session. Nothing to worry about, because it's a Fang stock, and therefore it can never lose. Amazon reports record-breaking holiday sales and earnings, but investors aren't impressed. We've got a problem here. Don't worry, it'll be fixed in one trading session. Amazon revenue growth percentage has declined significantly. Okay, so this is not the total dollars, not the total value. We're looking at the growth in terms of percent. And right now, it is a level which it hasn't been at from just eyeballing it here all the way back prior to the financial crisis. So things have really changed. The cloud keeps growing. AWS revenue reaches $7.4 billion. This is where a lot of their money is made. I know a lot of people don't even know about this, but we're talking about Amazon Web Services. This is basically where businesses can store information into the cloud. They were way ahead of other businesses, and that allowed them to grow to such a level. As far as I'm aware, they're the biggest in what they do, and this happens to be something that they generate a lot of revenue from. So it's not just Amazon.com necessarily that they've been able to profit from. AWS seems to be something that is really growing. However, it has slowed down over the last little while, and basically the second half of 2018 up until present, year-over-year growth has declined for it. So I just wanted to give you a whole perspective based on this. Whether you want to call it positive or negative, I don't really care. This is simply the information. This is the data. This is why this channel doesn't grow at the rate as you see others, because I didn't pick sides with certain individuals that I don't name on this channel, because I didn't want to get into that, didn't want to go down that road. I want to give you the information so you can empower yourself. This is not a one side or the other. This is not a one size fits all. This is you. This is about you and your investments and your ability to protect yourself and your family. So that's what I want to do here, is provide the information. That's all for this video. If you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. When you give me a thumbs up, you're supporting this channel. Don't forget to do that. It's simply just clicking that one button and you're helping me out. Thank you very much. And last but not least, if you want the financial education you were not taught in school, these two books have everything that you need, from the foundation, the history, the asset classes, making money, so much more. Check them out at the link in the description. If you want the audiobook, you can get that at themoneygps.com.